Pfizer and BioNTech are working to engineer a COVID vaccine effective against the Omicron variant.
Pfizer's vaccine research chief, that's okay, we're getting the hang of this.
That's right.
Says it's important to conduct this trial in case existing doses and boosters don't hold up against potentially new variants down the road. Right now, all FDA-approved COVID shots have proven to be effective against serious illness and death.
Meanwhile, the FDA is reining in 2 COVID antibody treatments. The agency says emergency use authorization of the drugs should be shelved as they don't appear to be effective against Omicron. For more, let's bring in Dr. William Schaffner. He's a professor of infectious diseases at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Dr. Schaffner, welcome. Great to see you again. So first off, tell us a little bit more about these antibody treatments and why the FDA made this decision.
Well, the antibody treatments were designed shortly after you know that you have a positive result to prevent the evolution of your illness from mild to one that requires hospitalization. And with Omicron, it's now been pretty well established that these 2 monoclonal antibodies simply don't work very effectively against the Omicron variant. Now, the other side of the coin is that we do have another new monoclonal antibody that does. It's just now starting to be delivered across the country.
So when you look at the efficacy of other COVID treatments, what can you tell us about that?
Well, in addition to the monoclonal antibodies, as we've all heard, we now have these pills, these antiviral medications that also are becoming more widely available, used in the exact same circumstance for certain patients who are at high risk of developing serious disease. They also, shortly after you get infected, if you contact your healthcare provider and you qualify, you have to be older, have a serious underlying illness, be immunocompromised, you too would be eligible for these antivirals. And they're likewise designed to prevent your milder illness from getting more severe, requiring hospitalization. They're also being rolled out. Not entirely available everywhere yet, but we're getting there.
So, Dr. Schaffner, let's talk a little bit more about this vaccine designed to protect against Omicron, because as we know, so many people were double vaxxed and boosted and caught Omicron.
Still got it.
So is tailoring vaccines to specific variants a smart strategy?
Well, sure, it certainly is. We want that on the shelf if we happen to need it. At the moment, we know that the vaccines plus boosting will also protect you from serious disease. But we may well need an Omicron-specific booster on down the road, and having one ready would be really great. You know, we do this with our influenza vaccine each year. We tailor the vaccine, we adjust it to match the most prevalent strains. Same story with the COVID vaccines.
But so, Dr. Schaffner, can you explain why the vaccines that we currently have seemed so ineffective just in terms of catching Omicron? I understand that those people who are double vaxxed and boosted got less severe versions of it, but it seems many people, including the medical community, were surprised at how easily it was to catch it, even if you had you had all that protection.
Yeah, well, I was surprised also. You know, different vaccines work more or less well against different viruses. And there are people in laboratories right now trying to make even better COVID vaccines so that in the future, we might be able to prevent not only serious disease, but milder disease as well, and disease caused by a whole variety of variants. So we're working with COVID Vaccines 101. The investigators are trying to get COVID vaccines 102 and 103 out there in due course. Hold tight. We're still working on it.
All right. We can use all the help we can get. Dr. William Schaffner, thank you so much.
Thank you.